Are we live? Let's see, we're counting down. I think we're live. How do I get this bigger? Here we go. Right. Hello, everybody. So, yeah, we're live. We are live at the At Home with Joe Wicks, and I've got a little surprise. I've got my Weaning 15 books. We're going to do lots of Q&As. I've got some questions that have been sent in. I'll just wait until a few more people jump into the live. Can you all hear me okay? Let me know in the comments if you can hear okay. I'll just type in here, make sure you can all hear me. Hello, can you hear me? At Home with. Right, sound. Let's check the sounds up. Yeah, sounds up. So if you want to ask some questions, you can put the questions in the box there. We'll wait a couple minutes till people join in. I don't want to start too soon, but I've got all my questions written down. Hello, Kate. Oh, brilliant. You can all hear. Jess can hear. Perfect. So I'm in my kitchen. Haven't managed to clean up after dinner. It's a bit of a mess. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this. So unfortunately, I didn't get to go on a book tour this year with my book, and I really wanted to because I love this book and I'm so proud of it. And I would have loved to have gone all around the UK and Ireland and visiting bookstores, especially Independent, which I love. And unfortunately, I'm not able to. So here I am doing a live. Hopefully, we can get some good questions tonight. A little bit of a Q&A going. So we've got Kate Bullows is in the room. We've got Jess Duffy. Hello, Jess. We've got Rebecca Byrne in Wales. So let's wait another minute or so. It's only 1 minute past 8. Rebecca says, I've loved doing your PE. How's your wrist? Yeah, my wrist is getting better. It's definitely healing. I've got more movement, but I still can't put any pressure in it. Like it's very, the mobility is not really great. Right, so hello from Lingham's. Hi, Sue Porter. Oh, I've actually been, I'm not sure if you're the same Sue, but I've been given a little note to say, I hope that Sue is in hospital. I hope you're feeling well and good luck. Get well soon. Lots of love. Right, so I think we can start with the questions then. Should we kick off? So I'll do my main questions first that I've been sent, and after that we can do the Q&A. So if you put your questions in the comments on the side, we can do some sort of Q&A as well, yeah? So I've done my little shout out to Sue. I've got my little notes so I forget everything. So hello to Sue, sending you lots of love. Hope you feel better. And this is my new book, Weaning 15, which I would have been going on a tour. And you know I love going on tours. I go all around the UK. I love visiting bookshops and meeting people, but unfortunately because of the lockdown, it's not happening this time, but maybe later on in the year. Right, so question number 1. Why did you decide to write this book? So, good question. Well, obviously my first books are called Lean in 15, and they were obviously adult books aimed at kind of, fat loss, getting lean, burning body fat and transforming physically. And then, fast forward a few years down the line, I've now got 2 kids. I've got little baby Indy, who's almost 2, and I've got Marley, who's about 4 months, just over 4 months old. Kind of went on this journey that I didn't know, I had no idea, like, how do you wean a baby? Where do you go for this information? Where's the best place to go? And luckily I met a wonderful nutritionist called Charlotte, who I partnered up with, and we met, and I said, I've got this idea for a book. Here she is, SR Nutrition, she's amazing. So we partnered up, and I said, look, I really want to create a Weaning 15 book, a weaning book, but I don't have the kind of expertise. So she really coached me through the process. She helped me with Indy. She helped me learn how to, run through the process of weaning and what was the best kind of things to do and avoid. And it really helped me having that confidence behind Charlotte and just having at the end of a WhatsApp call or, an Instagram message. And she was always supporting me through that whole process. So that allowed me to be very calm and confident weaning Indy. So I kind of used that experience, and I used my experience of Indy, and then also, I've got 400,000 people follow the Weaning 15 account now, which is incredible. And I've spoke to so many parents, and just giving little tips and advice over the years over the last year and a half, that's just really helping people. Things like, swapping out snacks and maybe focusing on just meal times and just being a lot calmer and creating a nice environment makes a huge difference. So that was the reason, and the real passion behind this book is I just love knowing that I'm getting people eating healthy, and that should start really from very young babies and toddlers right up to adults. So this book is a great little example of how we can start them young and get them really onto a good start. So Good question. How did Indy cope with the photo session? So the photos, I really love this photo shoot. I mean, I think she's about 8 or 9 months old there, and there's some wonderful photos. She was just amazing. She loved it. You know, she got tired in the end, but we split the photo shoot into 2 or 3 days. So then she was a little bit older in this shoot, but I just love these photos of her. I think they're gonna be wonderful. I'm gonna get them blown up, some of them. But yeah, just keeping her entertained, giving her, you know, a few snacks, a few berries and stuff to keep her on point. But it wasn't a very long day. It was only a couple of hours we were there. So yeah, she was really well behaved. This book's already getting dirty. This is my favourite photo though, on page 49. She's so happy. This is what she's like when I give her food. She loves her food. And I think because I've been so consistent from the start and I've really challenged her, I've given her lots of lovely food and different flavours and spices. It's really helped her become a little adventurous eater. So, next question. What's Indy's favourite food? Well, Indy's favourite food is probably, I'd say pasta. She loves pasta. So anything like gnocchi, spaghetti, penne, you know, any pasta. She likes creamy pasta sauces. I make lovely like pesto, homemade pesto. So I like cooking things that we can enjoy together as a family. So I really got her on quite quickly from like purees to, you know, from purees right on to kind of textured foods and then family meals pretty quick. And that's important. The quicker you do that, the more easier it is because you can sit and enjoy food together. And it's not just like, oh, the baby eats separately. It's a kind of nice thing to do together. And I talk a lot about that in the book, about, you know, role modelling. Right, good question. Next one. Are there any days where you just think it's too hard to be healthy all day? Oh, of course, there's lots of days where that happens, but you can't, no day's perfect, even for me. Like, not every day, you know, is perfect in my world. So it's also going to be the same for Indy. So there's days where, you know, we share a chocolate bar, or we eat out and we eat in a restaurant or grab a sandwich or something, and it's not always healthy, but it's not all the time. You know, majority of the food I cook with Indy is at home. So it's all about balance, isn't it? Don't vilify and don't demonize certain foods. If you have to use a pouch one day because you go out, or you have to grab something, you know, on the go, it's not the end of the world. It's just one meal out of a whole week of meals. So definitely be more relaxed about it. I think it's really important. What is your favourite snack? My personal favourite snack is in this book, and it's one recipe that everyone went crazy for. Like, on the day this book came out, I swear about 1,000 people made this recipe, and I'll quickly show you what it is. They're really yummy. They're called broccoli and cauliflower tots, and they're like cheesy. Oh, they're just so nice. You put cheese and broccoli and cauliflower in a blender. Or you can actually do it by hand. Let me just find them, and they taste amazing. And loads of people made them. Where is it? I'm just looking for again. Cauliflower, ABC, cauliflower tots 162. Yeah, they're so good. So this is them, broccoli cauliflower tots. Everyone made them. They're so yummy. They're so easy to make as well. So they're like a cheesy cauliflower broccoli tot, and you can make them in minutes. They don't take long at all, like about 15 minutes in the oven. And they're so moreish. You can have them warm, you can have them cold, you can reheat them. So that's probably Indy's and my favourite snack from the book for sure. What are your tips for parents who are struggling to find time to stay healthy? I mean, staying healthy, obviously, there's 2 factors, right? Well, there's 3 factors. 1, sleep, which is obviously challenging when you've got kids. 2 is nutrition and cooking and the food you put in your body. And then the 3rd, probably most important as well, is obviously exercise and movement and activity. So I really believe in, quick recipes. Like Weaning 15 is quick recipes, fast food, made simple, and home workouts. With PE with Joe as an example, it's 25 minutes, short and sweet. And I believe that if you can turn your living room or your kitchen or your bedroom into your workout space, especially as a parent, it's the quickest way to guaranteeing you do something daily, you can feel good, you feel the benefits of it, and you can stay on top of your mental health, your energy, your mood. It's so important. So for me, home cooking and home workouts are the key to successfully staying healthy and fit and lean all year round. I'm loving these questions. What advice do you have for parents who are about to start weaning? So I've got a section in the book called 15 Things I Wish I'd Learned Sooner, and it's really, really insightful because it's things that I wish I'd known that when I wouldn't have been so worried or concerned or anxious. But ultimately, it's such a short period of time, from 6 months to 12 months, that 6-month period. It goes so quick, and I kind of miss it now. I miss those early days where we were trying new things and food's flying about, and I was giving Indy like different tastes. And now it's like she's eating like an adult. She eats like me. She eats the same food as me. So the weaning journey is really short, and it's not something you should fear or be anxious about. Like, it's really fun. you can't really go too wrong. I grew up on purees. I didn't have healthy food. I turned out all right, but with Indy, I've made a big effort to really put good food in her little system and her body. And I think it comes down to consistency. Believing that you're doing the right thing for your kids and allowing them to have treats and not be hard on yourself if you don't have a perfect day of eating. And just relax and have fun, and don't get so uptight about things if they're not holding their spoon quick enough, or if they're not speaking fast enough, or they're not learning. Every kid's different. So don't compare your kids to Indy, to your next door neighbours, to your sister's kids. Like, your baby's an individual, and they're going to learn at their own pace. And so we all end up using a knife and fork. We all end up learning to eat. So definitely take it in your stride and don't get too worked up. What has surprised you the most about becoming a dad? I just love being a dad. I just find everything about it positive. Like, I just don't want to be like, oh, this is hard and this is tough. I love it. I love everything it comes with. I love doing the bath time. I like taking her for walks. I like the chaos. I love having two babies. They're two under two. It's manic, but I love it. I get double the cuddles. I get to see them interact. I get to see them play together, and I love it. I love seeing Indy. She's become a little version of me and Rosie, and I just think that's wonderful when you start to see their personality come out. And she's hilarious, and I feel like I'm teaching her good characteristics. I'm teaching her to share and be kind and be sensitive, and I think I love that. And so I definitely think I'm going to have more kids, 100%. How's your hand? The hand's good. The hand's healing. I spent 2 nights in the hospital. I had an infection in my hand. It was so painful, but they took the wires out and the pain's gone. It's just a case of getting the strength back. So I've got my Play-Doh. I basically squeeze Play-Doh all day, trying to strengthen my hand up. That's my physiotherapy, is Play-Doh. So once I can move on from that, I can get like a tennis ball. But yeah, Play-Doh is the one for hand rehab. So, good question. Next one. Thanks for asking as well about the hand. Next one is, were you surprised by the reaction to your daily PE lessons? I mean, yeah, completely. I had no idea. When I launched that PE with Joe, I thought I'd do it for a week, see what happens, see how many people take part. It ended up being, it's been 9 weeks. We're into our 9th week, and 60 million people have taken part. It's just incredible, right? All over the world. So I love it. I'm proud of it. I'm proud of what we've achieved. I'm proud of the money we've raised as a community for the NHS. And I love it. It's a part of my day that I look forward to. It isn't work. I just get up and I do it and I film it. Sets me up for the day, keeps me fit, keeps me motivated. And I've been amazed by how many people from all over the world are like coming together and training at that same moment in time, and all coming away feeling great. So I love it. I'll just say now as well, you can purchase the books. There's signed copies of the books. I only signed 1,000 copies of this book, and they went to all the independent bookshops. So it's from Lingham's Bookshop, Booker Bookshop, Bookish, and Forum. What lovely names for bookshops, eh? Like, you just don't hear names like that. They're so individual and unique. And I've visited a couple of them on my tour, and I loved it. I really hope that independent bookstores stand the test of time. I really do. So if you can support them, get one of the copied books. The signed book, sorry. What are you most looking forward to when lockdown finishes? I'm looking forward to just like going out for dinner. I love eating out, so going to a restaurant with Rosie and Indy, and maybe without Indy and Marley, the first night just with the kids, maybe get my mum or my dad to come over and look after the babies, and just go out for a nice meal, go to the cinema, get an ice cream and just chill out and just not worry about anything. And then obviously going on holiday would be nice. Will you miss touring life for this book? Yeah, 100%. I really, I love when I do my tours. I'm not doing it flat, fancy. I jump in a little mini bus. We drive about. I jump in, do my book signings. We stay in, holiday inns and travel lodges, and we just crash out and we move on to the next one. And I do love that. I really enjoy meeting people. It brings it to life, because obviously with weaning 15 and the body coach stuff, it's all digital. It's all online. I never really get to meet the people that are actually experiencing it. So for me, I really do love doing the book signings and meeting people, even if it's for like a minute or 2 minutes. I always make sure I give as much time as I can to each person. So these are from Mike James, who interviewed you when I came to Click Owl. I remember Click Owl. What's Indy's favourite recipe from the book? Oh, interesting. Probably going to say Nearer the Back, because obviously she's a little bit older now, so I've been doing some of the recipes from Nearer the Back of the book, and she's actually a big fan of. She loves things like this, so this is one of the favourite recipes, I think, in the book. It's called Caribbean Spiced Chicken and Squash Curry, which is really simple, but you can make a big old batch of it. You can store a little bit in the fridge or the freezer, and it's just really quick. It's yummy. It's got a little bit like curry powder. It's not too spicy, but ginger, allspice, coconut milk. It's really creamy. So yeah, chicken and squash curry is her favourite from the book. Have you found looking after your little ones during... Oh, how you found it? I mean, look, we're lucky. Indy and Marley are still quite young, so they're not doing academic stuff yet. We just do crafts. We play in the garden. We read books. We go for walks, go on the scooter. So it hasn't been too difficult. I've got a lot of respect for parents that have had to like become full-time PE... well, I've been the PE teacher, but full-time maths, English, science teacher. So yeah, I've definitely dodged a bullet there in the sense that I can just play with them and have fun. So it's been good. I mean, every day feels the same, doesn't it? Every day's like the same day, just over and over again. So it's Groundhog Day. And then this is from Kerry. Joe, do you think as parents we overcomplicate the simple transition to eating solids? When we had our son, we were still living on a student grant, and the advice my health visitor gave me was to give him what you're eating, but hold off the onions. It worked for us. Yeah, I mean, it's overwhelming. It's like, what do I give my child? And there's certain things, it's like salt and chili and certain things you don't want to be giving them. But ultimately, a lot of the foods, you can be getting them on, chickpeas and lentils and risotto and orzo, like things quite quickly. You can mash up sweet potato and get textures. You don't have to just be giving them purees for the whole year. You can really move them through that transition from milk to purees and then to sort of lumpier textures. And that's what I've done with Indy. We were giving her little kind of stews and curries and butter bean mash with pesto at like 7 months. And we given her like roasted vegetables and stuff. So we're giving her like, cumin, paprika, Cajun, turmeric, like cayenne, all these lovely flavours, and just making food taste good. So now she's so used to that. She doesn't like bland vegetables, but she'll eat roasted cauliflower with curry powder on, or she'll eat kale fried in olive oil or roasted in the oven. So definitely don't overcomplicate it. Keep it simple, and yeah, enjoy the journey, because it's over so quick, and it really is wonderful when you see your kids eating healthy food. It's just amazing. So, well, there are all the questions I've had. I've really enjoyed that part of the Q&A. So now let's do some audience Q&A. So let's have a look then. Here we go. Question time. Right. Ooh, what advice have you got about offering pudding? So Sammy, right, well, puddings, I mean, it depends what you think a pudding is. I mean, for me, a pudding for Indy is like a little bit of Greek yogurt with some berries, sometimes a little bit of granola. But yeah, a bit of fruit. She'll have like a mini milk, or she'll have like a rice cake with some peanut butter or something. But it depends. If she's eaten all her dinner, and I think, she's done really well and she's still hungry, I'll give her a little snack, or even an apple or a pear or something, or a banana. But it depends. If she really hasn't eaten her dinner and she's nudged it away and she's pushed it away and she's asking for dessert, it's because she knows she's going to get pudding. So I kind of want her to eat, get some nutrition from her main meal first of all. But yeah, I mean, look, she shares like ice creams with me. She shares things like that. But it's definitely a treat and not something I do every single day. Lindsay Hamadi, hi, I'm from Blackpool. Started cooking from your book this week, and my 8-month-old is eating every single meal I've made. Even the dal was a winner. Oh, I love that, Lindsay. Thank you for telling me that. I love knowing that people are not only getting the book and enjoying it, but the kids are enjoying the recipe. So that's fantastic news. Sammy Hayton, love your book, by the way. Overnight oats have just been prepped. Oh, overnight oats are such a great recipe for yourself if you're busy. For kids, it's a cold option. So I do give Indy porridge. She loves warm porridge in the morning with some berries and desiccated coconut and all that. But I gave her overnight oats the other day, and she really didn't want it. But as soon as she tried it, and she knew how tasty and creamy it was, she loved it. So it's definitely a different vibe, because it's a bit creamier and it's obviously cold. I wouldn't heat up her overnight oats, but I love them. You can top them with, some flax seeds, some coconut, your favourite fruits. They're really, really yummy, and you can batch cook them as well. Nita, I have an 11-month-old son. I've done a mix of baby-led and puree food. He seems to chew and then spit out anything chewy like bread, pasta and egg. I've tried to keep offering it, but nothing seems to change. So first of all, I mean, he's still only young, isn't he? 11 months old. So he's definitely, he's going to get there, whatever happens. And we done a similar thing with Indy. We gave her an option between, let's say it was a little bit of broccoli, a very steamed, soft bit of broccoli. So she could hold it and experience it. And then we'd give her a puree. And that was a good combination. So we just did a little bit of both. But I think when it comes to food refusal and spitting out, it's just a case of just keep multiple exposure, keep trying them in different ways. And maybe, they don't like certain textures, but you could always like, if it's veg, for example, you could always put it into like a little breakfast muffin or a little omelette, or you could put it into a curry and try and get veg in that way, as opposed to trying to have it just on its own. But just be patient. I mean, look, 11 months old, he's going to be learning every day. He's going to be learning to use a spoon. He's going to learn to move food around his mouth. So don't feel pressured. Like I said, we all end up eating with a knife and fork, and we all get on fine. So don't rush him along too long, and just definitely also try and sit down and enjoy food with him. It's like role model to him. Sit, and rather than just be all the pressure on the baby, I think that's a lot of parents do that. Sit and enjoy a bowl of porridge together, or eat your soup together or something. And then they start to learn from you, and they really start to replicate and copy what you're doing. Okay, so right, so Becca Thompson, love Lean in 15, so helpful and inspirational to make sure our little babies get delicious healthy food. Quick curry question, curry powder, is it okay to use? Yeah, you're talking about a tiny bit of curry powder, aren't you? Like mild, I wouldn't go for super strong, hardcore, like intense curry powders, but a little sprinkle. Let's say you're making a little veg curry with like a tomato sauce base, chopped tomatoes and some mixed veg, and you want to put a bit of flavour in it. Yeah, I mean, a bit of smoked paprika is always good as well, but a tiny little sprinkle of curry powder is not gonna be too intense. It's more of a flavour thing, isn't it? So yeah, give it a go. I mean, we didn't do it for the first few weeks, but about 7 months in, when she was 7 months, then we started to offer her things like that. So can you talk a bit about how you and Rosie reduce milk? Oh, okay, Sandy. Well, again, that's something we didn't decide. We talk about that in the book, when to start, the transition and introducing foods. But ultimately, your baby's going to get a lot of their nutrition and a lot of their calories from either the breast milk or the formula. So you can't really decide. It's more of a case of the baby. As your baby starts to eat more food, they'll start to demand less milk. So one day, I think it was just the afternoon bottle she just sort of stopped having, so she'd have the morning feed when she first woke up, then come down and have her breakfast, but she just sort of didn't want the afternoon one, and then eventually she pushed the morning one out of the way because we just brought her straight down and had breakfast, and then eventually she dropped the night feed. So there's no race for that. Like, there's no, if you feel like your baby is still eating a decent amount of food but it's still wanting that bottle of milk before bed and it helps them sleep better and they feel better, don't feel like there's this cut-off point where you've got to stop giving them milk. I mean, Indy was having bottles of milk until about 3 months ago. Like, I was giving her a bottle of milk before bed, but now she's just kind of stopped asking for it. So I think it's just a supply and demand thing, really. What did you do if Indy threw food on the floor on purpose? I mean, she does that all the time. If she's in a bad mood, if she's tired, or if she's teething or she's not feeling well, she'll throw food at me. She'll throw it on the floor. She won't be in the mood for it. When she was teething, she'd go 2 or 3 days without eating, just having milk. And you sort of think, well, if she's happy, she's fine. If she was really hungry, she'd eat. So definitely don't get upset. You got to embrace the chaos, embrace the dirt, the mess. It's just you can't avoid it. My table's got Weetabix and porridge stuck to it, and the floor's always dirty. Best thing I did was get one of those little remote handheld hoovers, because I do hoover it up every day. So, any tips on travelling, being on the go and weaning? All right, so yeah, that's a good question. Well, there's lots of pouches. There's obviously Ella's Kitchen. You've got babies. There's different products out there. I mean, I wouldn't rely on them too heavily, but it's okay every now and again if you're on the go and you want to grab one of those, as a backup. But again, with these kind of, these insulated flasks you can get, where you put the ice or the water and it stays cold for like hot or cold for like a day. There's the versions of these and lunch boxes. So we're going to get one for Indy where we can just heat up. Let's just say it's a little curry or a stew or something. We can heat it up and take it on the road so that she can eat that, because I just find that when you do go out places, whether it's the farm or the zoo or something, the children's food and the children's menu is terrible, isn't it? It's better to be prepared, but on the off chance, there's nothing wrong with having a little pouch now and again. What is your favourite cookery book? My favourite personal book for myself, I actually love Jamie Oliver's 5 Ingredients. I think that's a great book, so that's one of my favourite books I'm going to cook from. But obviously, out of my books, I will say my Weaning 15 book is my precious little baby, because it's got Indy on, it's got Milo, my little nephew, and I'm really fond of this and the mission of this book. Lisa McGregor, that's a good question. What drives your success? I suppose I'm driven by like a desire to want to reach more people and help people, and I've always dreamed of like being able to connect with millions of people. I've always had this ambition. Like with the schools thing, I knew what was going to happen. I knew I was going to reach millions of people through the school stuff, but I thought it was going to take me 10 years because I've been 4 years into it and I'm starting to get traction. But obviously now with the PE with Joe and the YouTube, the way it's gone, it's accelerated that and it's happened so quickly. But I love helping people. I love knowing that I'm making people feel happier and fitter and healthier, and it drives me, and all the comments and the DMs I get and obviously the messages really uplift me every day, so that definitely helps. Katie, can babies have normal oats or do we need to buy baby porridge? I don't even know what baby porridge is, but there's nothing wrong with oats. That we were giving Indy oats pretty much straight away from 7 months after she'd had really soft purees and stuff. And if you put loads of milk in, whether it's milk, almond milk, cow's milk or whatever you're using, they do go really soft and really creamy. Cook it on a really low heat, nice and slow. It's such a soft texture, they can swallow that very easy. So I don't bother with baby porridge, I just go straight in with the oats. Not jumbo oats, just like the sort of, we did a cheap basic like Sainsbury's oats, whatever, just like the ones that like the quick cook oats. They're a bit thinner, a bit smaller. What age did Indy start successfully using a spoon to feed and not just chucking it on the floor? Did you always give her a spoon or let her eat with her hands? We always put a spoon on the table, but again, always let her use her hands if it was a finger food. But I just really believe in role modeling. I've just sat down and I've eaten so many meals with her, and I think that's a huge thing. You imagine if you're a kid, when you're looking, if it's just you on your own, you're like, I don't know what to do with this. Whereas if your parents sitting next to you and they're eating with you, they are learning everything you do. They're following you, so they learn the movement, they follow what you're doing, and that has just been repetitive. Every day, at least once a day, I'll sit with Indy and I have either a breakfast or lunch or dinner, and that makes a huge difference. The role modeling side of things, where they can learn to copy what you're doing. So definitely keep up with that. But I mean, Indy was probably, I don't know, 12 months, 13 months when she probably started getting a decent use of a spoon, but still messy. She still drops stuff. Right. Oh, here's a good one. Carmel, what is the best time to give baby their first meal, morning or evening? Thanks. I think you're great from your weaning and motivation. Oh, thank you, Carmel. So this really is up to you. We started Indy in the morning because we'd get up in the morning, give her a bottle of milk, come down about an hour and a half later or something, and then offer her a breakfast, which really for the first few weeks was just like a vegetable. So it would be like, boiled and pureed broccoli or spinach. So, and you're talking about a tiny little mouthful, there's not much swallowing going on. The first few weeks, there's not a lot of swallowing. It's more just like tasting, spitting out. But they're learning to use their tongue to taste warmth, to taste flavors and stuff. So it's definitely like there's no perfect time, whatever works for you really. But yeah, I mean, you could try it in the morning, and even depends what mood they're in. I just felt like in the morning it was a nice way to start the day, and it was fun and got out of the way and stuff. But yeah, just once a day for the first couple of weeks. Right, Sophie Elizabeth Middleton. I really did try hard with my daughter to wean, aligned with SR nutrition advice alongside your weaning journey, as my daughter's the same age. But unfortunately now she's become really very fussy. I find it hard to stay tough at night time and usually resort to toast as I don't want her going to bed hungry. What would your advice be? Well, I promise you, if Indy had her way, she would have toast for breakfast, lunch and dinner with butter, marmalade. She's obsessed with toast. She'd also eat porridge 3 times a day. She would eat fruit until her belly pops. But the thing is, your kids, they learn so quick. If you do crack, and if your daughter knows that when you push that plate away, you're going to come over in 2 or 3 minutes time with a couple of slices of toast and some peanut butter or whatever, they know that, and they read the signs, and so you have to be firm. I know it's difficult, but otherwise they're just going to run the kitchen, and they know what they know what they're going to get. They know they're going to get their yogurt or their cereal or their toast before bed, because it's like, well, it happened last night and the night before, so why would it be any different? So you've got to be strong enough to break that habit, and it isn't nice, but that, if your baby goes to bed, they're not going to wake up in the night, excruciatingly hungry. They're going to wake up in the morning and have a big old breakfast. That's all it's going to be. So I think there's this myth that if you don't have a really massive dinner, that people are going to wake up in the night. I just don't think that happens. It's never happened with Indy anyway. I just think, try and encourage. If she doesn't want the food right there and then, maybe try and leave the table, come back half an hour later. So maybe start dinner a little bit earlier, and then you've got a bit more time to play before bedtime, because then you can re-offer her the food, and she knows there's no toast coming, and this is what I've got to eat. Right, Michelle. Any tips for when you hit the stage where toddlers start refusing veg I keep putting on his plate and showing him I eat it. I weaned him with the green veg first. So Michelle, I haven't had to go through this yet because Indy's still only 20 months old. She's not really getting to that proper like. I mean, she's getting to a toddler, but I suppose what I'm saying is it could happen, but I'm really consistent. I've found recently that she doesn't like boiled vegetables. She won't eat spinach and broccoli and kale, but when I roast it, if I put it in the oven and I make it like crispy, or I put it in her curry, she'll eat the food, she'll eat it. But certain things that she'll pick out tomatoes, she won't eat avocados. So there's certain things I know that she won't eat. But the ones that I do know she likes, I just keep offering it in different ways. I roast it, I put some spices on it, I put it in an omelette, put it into her overnight oats, even shred like carrot and stuff into her overnight oats and have some like sweet oats or savoury oats. So there's ways, but again, it's just, as hard as it is, it's about, you've just got to be consistent, because if you're not, and if you give in all the time, then babies learn so quick. Just like with sleep routine, isn't it? Like if they know you're going to come back into the room, they'll cry and cry and cry, and it's about breaking those habits. So as hard as it may seem, just keep offering it to them, try it in different ways, try frying it in the oven, fry it in a pan with some butter and some fresh herbs or some dried herbs. It makes a difference. It makes things taste good, and it makes it like crispy, so that could definitely help. Okay, let's do a few more questions then. So thank you, Breed. Breed's just shared the link. There's a link there for bookies if you want to get the book. The books are signed copies, so not many people have got hold of signed copies. I only sold 1,000, but obviously bookstores haven't been open. So if you can support any of the little independents, it'd be greatly appreciated. And there's a link there. Look. So one more question then. Where's the last question? So I'm just trying to find one. Has anyone got one they want to throw in the bottom? Oh, when are you going to wean your little boy? That's a good one. Aideen. Well, Marley is 5 months old almost, so we'll start in about a month's time, around 6 months. There's no perfect day or sort of number, but the guidelines are, we should start around 6 months of age. So when he's sitting up and he's interested in food, and I feel like he can hold himself up and he can start to swallow food. I think, I'm looking forward to it, and I'm just going to repeat the process, and I will document it probably more so than I did with Indy, because I'm going to be really going through the 2-week veg-led approach. I'll document it on Instagram, I'll share it, and hopefully take people on that journey of, this is Marley from the start, this is what he's doing, and hopefully that will inspire people to really kind of to take some of that on. But I mean, look, I know. Don't forget, I'm accountable. I've got my Instagram, so I need Indy to be trying new foods. I need to be cooking new stuff, and so I'm constantly challenging her and pushing her. And I'm like, come on, darling, let's try something new. And so she's very adventurous, and that just comes from consistency. Like Indy could become very fussy very quickly if I stopped giving her this variety of food, if I narrowed her food choices down, if I just kept giving her the same things 3 or 4 times a week. So I'm constantly trying to share new recipes, and that definitely helps. Me challenge her with different things and stuff. So try and think like that. Try and think, what can I offer my baby that she hasn't had today? And even if you're a fussy eater yourself, try not to kind of let that rub onto your children. Like, try and bring vegetables in the house. Try and do things that you wouldn't eat, but because it does make a difference. If we can start our kids on veg and eating healthy food at a young age, I do believe it can change their habits and their food preferences for the rest of their life. So it's an important time for sure. So there's all the links. And Bree just put the link for, you've got Lingham's, Booker. Hang on, so you've got Booker Bookshop, Lingham's. You've got Booker Bookshop there again, and then Lingham's. You've got different links. So there's lots of links there. So yeah, definitely hit those links. I've really enjoyed this Q&A. I hope you have. Thanks for tuning in and sticking with me for the whole time. I hope you found it useful. And I've got an Instagram account called weaning15. This is the new book, and I really appreciate anyone that has got this on pre-order or who's got it for tonight, this evening. Thank you so much, and have a lovely evening, and I'll see you all again soon. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.